Alright, it's the moment we've all been waiting for, everybody. It is time to do some F1 tracks. The first track it looks like we're starting with is Yas Marina. Yas Marina, in my opinion, even driving this on F1 23, I don't have 24 yet, I'm getting there. Driving this track is just so much fun. But it's not going to be really an S tier track. I'm going to probably put Yas Marina as a good A tier. I definitely think that is, it's probably how you do it the best. I don't think it's an S tier. It's more of an A tier. Australia. Australia, in my opinion, would be an S tier track if this was like the before they got rid of that chicane. In my opinion, I think the flow of the track's actually kind of been ruined a little bit with the chicane. I think here getting kind of taken out. Oh, hold on, my camera's not. Oh, let me get a little closer for you. Right here somewhere used to be a chicane. They got rid of it. I just feel like that disrupts the flow a little bit. So that's probably why it's going to go down to B tier for me. Now let's get a little closer so you guys can see. Ooh, Austria. Austria, in my opinion, is definitely going to be a good A tier racetrack. I don't think it's going to be an S tier. I don't think we're going to hit an S tier track yet. But I do really like Austria. I think that's one of my favorite tracks of the season. Ooh, the Bahrain Outer Circuit. That is going to be our first S tier track. That was so fun to watch when F1 did this track. And I actually want to see this track be the first track of the season. I do not want to see its sister track here of the Bahrain Inner layout, because in my opinion, that track deserves to go to C tier. I do not like that track at all. I think it's just slow. It's boring. Definitely, in my opinion, needs a complete redo. Baku. Baku driving on the simulator is an absolute S tier track. However, the racing there in real life, which I'm also going to need to include, is going to kind of take this track down to a good B tier. I like the racing there, but just, not really some of my favorites. Let's see, what comes up next? Ooh, let's see, that is Brazil, isn't it? Yes, that is Brazil. Brazil, S tier racetrack. Love this track. I love driving it. Love the racing there. It's fun to pass. It's fun to make absolutely crazy moves. One thing that Brazil is missing, though, is MotoGP. I want to see MotoGP do Brazil. That is my dream. What's up next? Canada. Canada, easy. A tier. It's fun to drive. The racing there is good. But, I don't know. I don't really think it's going to be S tier. Same with Shanghai. Shanghai, in my opinion, is going to probably be a good A tier track. I mean, I like it. You guys can see. I like turn 1, which I'll get a little closer here, because you go down and then it kind of just loops around on itself. It is like the never-ending corner, and I think that's what makes it so much fun. But then after that, it's just kind of like just falls apart. What comes next? Circuit of the Americas is probably going to join Bahrain. I feel like these tracks just kind of share a lot of similarities. Just not really that great, not really that fun. Yes, they're fun tracks to drive on the simulator, but just, not really my favorites. Hockenheim. Please bring Hockenheim back. Absolute S tier racetrack. Even driving this track on Project Cars, too, is so much fun. And when I also used to have this, I think on F1 2019, such a fun racetrack. I wish Formula One went back to it. One track I think Formula One can get rid of, and I think everybody can agree, is Hungary. I do not like the Hungaroring that much. It's fun to drive though in the simulator, but just not that fun for me in real life. Every time when Formula One comes up here, I'm like, oh, I can watch like maybe 5 minutes of that and just be like, I've already seen enough. Imola, I'm probably gonna put at a B tier track. I think Imola's just, in my opinion, a little overrated. I mean, yes, it's a fun, historic racetrack, but racing there is just not that great in my opinion. Ooh, this is a good one. I know I'm probably going to make a few people upset, and a few people might agree with me. Indianapolis is an S tier racetrack, in my opinion. IndyCar doing this track, fantastic. I definitely think Formula One can come back to this racetrack, but instead of doing the turn 1 oval layout, that like IndyCar does when they come out of that last corner. Do the IndyCar layout, bring them back through that chicane. What track is this? Oh, I think that's South Africa. South Africa, everybody says is a great track. And just looking at this track on like a track map, I'm really gonna put that A tier. That looks like a fun racetrack. Magny-Cours. Magny-Cours, everybody says sucks. I've looked at this racetrack. It looks fun. I've seen motorcycles do this track in the wet. Oh my gosh, is this a fun looking racetrack? Magny-Cours is probably gonna be a good B tier track. That track's so much fun. Sepang. Why did you leave us? S tier. Mexico. Mexico's probably going to go D tier. I feel like that track's just so blah, boring. It is, I don't know. I've yet to see a good race from Mexico. Miami. Everyone wants this track on. Everybody wants this track on. Me? S tier racetrack. So much fun to drive on the simulator. So much fun racing there. I especially love, well, you can't see it here, but just down through here, it's so tight and twisty. I love the tight and twisty racetracks. Monaco. Driving this track on the simulator is easily going here. Even in real life, driving here is impossible. Now, put all this shimmer and glamour around Monaco, and this track would easily go to A tier. However, get rid of all that, and this track is definitely going down here in the D tier. I am not really a fan of Monaco that much, but I get it. It's a historical racetrack. It hasn't really changed that much, but in my opinion, it's going to be a D tier racetrack. Monza. S tier racetrack. Everybody can agree on me with that one. Monza is fun, fast, flowing circuit. I love it. A track I want to see come back as well as like a third Italian racetrack. Actually, this one could replace Imola, in my opinion, and I wouldn't care. Is going to be Mugello. Mugello is going just up here next to its other sister with the Temple of Speed. I loved watching that race there. What comes next? Netherlands. That's going to be a D tier racetrack for me. I do not like this racetrack. Yes, it's fast. Yes, it's flowing. Yes, it's actually a fun circuit to drive, but just do not like driving here. Nürburgring. Going to be an easy S tier track for me. I want Nürburgring to come back and be on the schedule. Qatar, C tier. I like that track. It's fun to drive on the simulator, but just it's more meant for MotoGP than it is Formula One. This track can go, and I would not be mad. Ooh, the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit. Gonna be an easy S tier track for me. I like these tracks that are tight, twisty, technical. I think this is what Formula One needs more of, is these fast street courses. Just to throw a lot of, just kind of, I can't think of the word, like difficulty at them. Everyone's going to agree with me on this track here. Hold on. Britain. Britain's definitely going to be a good S tier racetrack for me. I love driving this track on the simulator. It's one of my favorites. I think it's everybody's favorite. Ooh, Singapore. Singapore, great track, but not, whoops, where'd that track go? Oops, that's going in the A tier. I love this track. One of my favorite tracks. One of my favorite street courses as well, just behind Jeddah. What comes next? Catalonia. Yeah, that track's going down here in the D tier. Nobody likes that track. Spa, easy. S tier. Everybody loves Spa. Everybody loves Spa. Let's see here. What comes next? Japan. Japan's gonna probably be a good A tier racetrack. I think it's good, but just I don't know. Not really one of my favorites. Istanbul Park. Everybody loves this track. I do not. This track can go, and it did, and I don't even feel anything about it. Ooh, Hanoi. Unfortunately abandoned, but love to see Formula One make a comeback because this is definitely, where's the track? An S tier racetrack. What track is that? Ooh, Paul Ricard. Easy for me. A tier racetrack. Even though the racing here sucks, this track is so much fun to drive on the simulator. I love this racetrack. And Portimao. Hilly, fun, and everything else. going just up here in S tier. And there you go. That is everything.